Hello there, it's Sarah from Paper Lovely. Thanks for joining me today. I am giving you a look here at the Spellbinders Stitched Die of the Month for March. This is called Everyday MVP and it makes a really cool stitched baseball cap. And guys, there are so many different options we can do with this. I think this would make a great birthday party invitation for a kid's party. You can use this for Father's Day. You can use this as a something for your boss for Boss's Day with the MVP. I just love this die. I think I'm going to come back to it over and over again because depending on the colors that you put together and the different sentiments that are included, it really does give you so many options. So the theme for this month has a very sort of superhero feel to it, like the sort of the all-encompassing theme. So we're going to start off here for this one with kind of a Superman or Wonder Woman, however you want to run this, coloring. I have pulled in some blue, red, and yellow. There I'm showing you I'm stitching the little sentiment there, which is going to go on the front of the cap. That's like our little stitched logo, if you will. And the colors I'm using are also from Spellbinders. These are Poppy, Saffron, and Cosmic Sky. And I went ahead and pulled out a yellow to match that saffron to do the stitching on everything. I really liked the contrast of that against the red and the blue. So for the little brim of our hat here, I went with red, and there I'm showing you I have stitched that. Now, when I stitched that, I did a running stitch. So I stitched all the way to one side and then all the way back. So I pulled in a nice straight stitch, and it makes a complete line of stitching. As I'm going to do the cap, I wanted to have a little bit more contrast of the blue. So I'm going to stitch all the way around here, but I'm not going to stitch back. So you'll see a little bit more of the color in between those stitches. Now that did leave me with one leftover hole at the end because it's really meant to do a full solid stitch. So I just stitched one back to fill that in so we didn't have an empty hole, and nobody is ever going to notice that. You will because I pointed it out, but the gifter that you give this card to is never going to notice. So we're going to go ahead here and get this all put together. I first want to secure the ends of my threads. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of mint tape, just some small pieces here, make sure those are down nice and tight and out of the way. And I'm kind of just sort of wrapping this or twisting the strings together there, just trying to make them into one so I can catch both with one piece. This for the logo, because this is such a small piece, I know I can catch those behind my foam dot. So again, just going to twist those, lay them down, and get my dot into place. And then while we're at it, we'll layer this onto the shadow, which I decided to make out of red, which will give us a little bit more contrast against that blue. For the brim of the hat, I'm going to add a little art glitter glue here. And then as you line this up, you can see that the hat is sort of cocked to the side a little bit. You got a side angle. The second stitching in from the right hand side is actually the front and center. So as you place these together, it makes a little bit more sense. You don't want to put your logo in the center. You're going to layer that logo over that line, which I'll show you here in just a second. But because of the angle, we need this little sort of back portion or inside portion of that brim to give us that full 3D effect. So that's not stitched. We're just going to put that in as a shadow. I've added the little, I'm not sure what you call that, the little bead at the top of the hat. And then we have the little metal pieces. So I had originally cut those out of yellow. You'll see I sort of skipped ahead here, and I decided I wanted more of a contrast. So I went ahead and off camera cut those out of red as well. It just helps it stand out a little bit more, especially with that yellow stitching. And the best way I found to attach these was I did a small dot of glue, kind of smudged that around with my finger, and then press these down. These are a very, very small detail, but it makes a huge difference on the card. It really gives that sort of like realism. All right, now we're going to get this logo. So as you'll see, I'm going to place this over what would be the center of our hat. And it helps because there's two little points there, top and bottom. And I just lined those up right along the line. And voila, there we have our finished ball cap. So I have gone ahead in that coordinating yellow and cut out birthday MVP sentiment. I'm also using one of the embossing folders from Spellbinders. This is a new favorite for me, and it is called Sun Rays. Use some Nina cardstock for that. We're going to add some art glitter glue behind it, and we'll place that on the front of our card base. Making sure that's down nice and tight with my bone folder. And here I'm showing you, you could fit that hat with this vertical, but I like the look of it and the spacing more horizontal. So just laying that out here with my sentiment, we're going to grab our foam dots and pop this up for a little bit of extra dimension. Adding a few smaller pieces on that back or side piece. We'll go ahead, peel off the backing, and then get this pressed into place. And then, of course, we'll go ahead and pop up our sentiment as well. Using my smaller dots on the back of that, they fit perfectly. And we'll get that pressed into place as well. Now, I'm not sure what I'm going to use this card for. I think it'll be great for a birthday card or possibly Father's Day. So I'm going to leave the inside blank right now, just adding a piece of my Nina 24-pound paper, some ATG to the back, popping that on the inside, and that will complete our card for today. Here are a few close-ups of the finished card. In the description box below, you'll find my blog post, which has additional photos and links to the supplies I've used. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a comment or a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.